Hanging with Mr. Douglas. Yeah.
Welcome back, yes, to Hanging with Mr. Douglas. It is you, it is me, it is we together. Exploring Ingo Swann's Secrets of Power, Volume 1. Hey, I'm thrilled to have you here. It's Chapter 19 time. And this chapter's title, Power, Intelligence, Smarts. And that title will make sense eventually. This is an interesting roundabout chapter where he gets to his point right around the end of the chapter. And we only have one excerpt for today, so it should be a shorter episode. Don't hold me to that. To begin, Ingo discusses the fact that we are led to believe that those at the top of the pyramid personify power itself. Well, they're the richest, they're the leets, they're up there at the tippy top, they must be super smart, they must be super powerful, right? No, but that is what those at the top of the structure would want us to think. Ingo says that they want us to think about that the fact that this personification of power that they are projecting is actual power itself, that's what they want us to think, and we know that's not true. But if this idea is accepted, if it's popped in your frame of mind, if it is positioned in your frame of reference, then it gets tough to think outside of that idea, outside of the power structure system as it is presented to us. Now, Ingo brings up a point here that power structures aren't called that outwardly. We're not walking around saying, gee, what a nice power structure I exist in. No, they're called societal structures. And those that make up societal structures are what is called society. Makes it a little more palatable, doesn't it? And don't get me wrong, I'm not going around saying, gee, what a nice society I live in these days. Now, those power structure top-level livers and those others that benefit from maintaining and operating it on the behalf of them don't want to rock the boat, right? This leads us into our excerpt. And away we go. The powerless must somehow be made to feel powerless in some kind of way that seems logical and authentic to them, and in a way that will neutralize and/or de-energize any feelings of being powerful. Some examples of this might include being born into a naturally powerless class, being socially conditioned to think of oneself as stupid and illiterate, not having enough education, not being too intelligent, not being acceptable to one's betters, being taught to respect the powerful, and so forth. Above all, the powerless must not be permitted to have any idea of what can transcend human-designed power structures, those societal artifices mistaken as power itself. In the sense of the foregoing, the ideas of power energization and de-energization begin to take on meaning, at least with regard to starting up empowerment processes within self. And indeed, it would be logical to suppose that power energization attracts power, while power de-energization would not do so and might even repel power. So, they'll build up our frames of reference to incorporate all those limiting beliefs that we just heard and make them as society-wide as possible to keep us in a depowered state. You just think this certain way, you just stay down. Don't you look, no, think yourself dumb. But again, referencing that excerpt, once you get going, once you start empowering yourself, it seems that power attracts more of it. And that power behavior, empowerment behavior, and empowerment mindsets are a kind of magnetic attractor. Conversely, depowering behavior, depowering mindsets do a lot of the heavy lifting for those leets, and in fact repel power and empowerment opportunities. This right here, this is another one of these magic moments where I am so grateful to be able to talk about this info. This is key. Unlock this treasure chest, because it is the choice, the decision of choosing power and empowerment deliberately over depowerment mindsets and activities that gets your Powerball rolling. Now, here we go, tying the title's chapter into what we're discussing here. Ingo gives us 3 factors, 3 power factors that are characteristic of empowered humans, and they transcend or sit above or umbrella over those closed-loop power formats we were talking about last chapter. And they have something to do with staying power. They are, as Ingo lists them, essential power itself, intelligence, and smarts. Ingo gives us an alternative way to name them. The first, empowering powers over power manifestations and uses, empowering formats of intelligence, empowering smarts. He also states that, at least at first blush here, it's tough to know how to incorporate these into any frames of reference, or mind frames. And yeah, when you first come across that, it's like, what do you mean, man? Empowering intel? What? But we can break it down here. We can start to get into it a little bit. Let's rustle around these terms, shall we? Empowering powers over power manifestations and uses, to me at least, this could be good health, active pursuit and upkeep of really good health, because good health would provide more autonomy in physical life, more direct power manifestations, physical power. If you're lifting weights, if you're walking around on the regular, if you're keeping your body fueled with really good whole foods, you're going to be doing better than someone who's not. That's just, to me, that's a no-brainer, bruh. You're going to have much less of a reliance, if any, on the sorry state of the medical industry. And this would, again, inform a lot of life and power manifestations coming forth from you, emanating from you in general. Good health will inform basically everything you do. So I think that's a good example of empowering powers over power manifestations and uses, because that's like a direct, if life force is power, you are directly empowering that power. So the next one, we have empowering formats of intelligence. To me, this is like learning a second language or getting good at AI prompting. Any way that you can gather positive, proactive, intellectual skills, I think would fit the bill here. And again, talk about opening doors. Learning a second language hooks you up. Becoming proficient with AI prompting speeds up workflows. Speed reading. There's one. Speed reading. Learn how to read fast, or just read more. The more you read, the better you get at it, the better you get at comprehending chunks of reading. You're getting the idea, I think, yes? All right, last one. Empowering smarts. And again, for me, this takes me right back to what I was talking about in the last episode. We have innate within us the problem-solving powers. You don't need to learn any special skill to know this, to employ this. It's going to happen. And knowing this, actively incorporating this into your mindset, as opposed to those pre-planned societal mindsets, a la, I'm stupid, I always screw up, I'm dumb, those. No, hey, it's not that. It's, when there's a problem, I have the ability to solve it. That, to me, is empowering smarts. But what do you think about that? I think that's a fun way to engage with those otherwise kind of heady displays of these overarching power factors that do sit above a lot of those closed-loop power systems. This really, it jazzes me up when I get to talk about this stuff because it is so important. Again, it is the conscious choice, the leaning into shaping your mindset, empowering your smarts, saying, no, you know what? I can handle this. I have within me everything I need to handle this. I can handle this. It may get crazy, but I can handle this. And you can. And you will. And the more we do, the more we frame our minds this way, the more empowerment automatically comes to us. I love that part too. Become the magnetic attractor for your own individual empowerment. Ha ha ha! Okay, all right. If you are enjoying this, and you'd like the full menu of what Ingo Swann has to offer, I have narrated the entirety of Volume 1 of Ingo Swann's Secrets of Power. It is on Audible. You can find it on my website, mist3rdougglas.com. There should be a link in the description. So if you're having a good time, you want to supercharge your empowering smarts, this book is a great way to do that. Talk about cranking up your magnetic situation. And absolutely, if this has tickled your fancy, do check out ingoswann.com, INGOSWANN.com, the website for the originator of this fantastic treasure chest. A pleasure, an absolute pleasure to have you all here, and a pleasure to discuss this information with you. This was a good episode, I think. Chapter 19. Thanks for hanging, everybody. Let's magnetize, all right? And hey, more power to you.